Title: Reckoning at General Hospital. Willow Tate had spent her entire life fighting for control over her own destiny. She had survived the manipulations of cult leaders, the heartache of love lost and found again, and the devastating blows of illness. But nothing had shaken her as much as the decision she had made that morning. With tears streaming down her face, Willow clutched the discharge papers in her trembling hands as she left the clinic. She had chosen to end a pregnancy that would have tethered her forever to a man she no longer trusted, Michael Corinthos. The weight of the decision pressed against her chest like an anchor, but she refused to be swallowed by guilt. This was her life, her choice. She had no time to grieve. Not now. Because now she had a war to fight. Carly's vendetta. Carly Spencer had never been one to take betrayal lightly, and she certainly wasn't going to start now. When she had learned the truth about Michael's deception, how he had played both sides, pretending to reconcile with Sonny while secretly working with the authorities to take him down, she had felt an all-consuming rage. Michael had learned the worst habits of the Corinthos family: manipulation, control, and deceit. But he had forgotten the most important lesson: loyalty. And Willow? Carly had always respected her, always seen the fire beneath the kindness. That fire had been snuffed out by heartbreak and Michael's lies, but Carly knew one thing: women like them didn't stay down for long. So when Willow had shown up on her doorstep, eyes still red-rimmed from the morning's decision, Carly had simply opened the door wider and let her in. The plan. General Hospital had been a place of healing, but for Willow and Carly, it had also been a battleground. Too many lies, too many betrayals, too many ghosts lurking in the hallways. And at the center of it all, Drew Kane. Drew had been the one to push Michael into betraying his own father. He had been the one to manipulate Carly into thinking he was her ally when all along he had only been using her. Now, he sat perched like a king at Aurora Media, pulling strings and believing himself untouchable. He needed to fall, and they would be the ones to make it happen. "We take away what he values most," Carly said, her voice like steel. "His empire," Willow agreed, her fingers tightening around the coffee mug in her hands. The execution. Willow had spent enough time in the shadows, playing the role of the perfect woman, compliant, nurturing, forgiving. But she wasn't just a nurse, wasn't just Michael's discarded lover. She was someone with access, with knowledge. She had seen the cracks in General Hospital's foundation, the whispers of financial misdeeds, the quiet way money funneled through shell accounts linked to Aurora Media. Carly had the business acumen. Willow had the inside information. Together, they unraveled the tangled web Drew had spun: secret dealings, insider trading, fraudulent records. And when the time was right, they struck. The fall of Drew Kane. The headlines hit first. Financial scandals. Corruption at General Hospital. Misappropriated funds, embezzlement, bribery, all connected back to Drew. The hospital board convened in a flurry, desperate to salvage what they could. Staff panicked. Investors fled. And at the heart of it all, Drew Kane stood, watching as the empire he had built began to crumble beneath his feet. He suspected Carly. He even suspected Willow. But with no proof, he was left scrambling, trying to put out fires faster than they could be ignited. When Carly and Willow walked into the hospital that day, heads turned. They weren't just two women who had been betrayed. They were two warriors who had just taken down a king. And they weren't done yet. A new beginning. Michael came to her that night. Not as a man seeking forgiveness, but as a man desperate for answers. "Why?" he asked, his voice thick with regret. Willow looked at him, really looked at him, and for the first time in a long time, she felt nothing. No love, no anger, no grief. Just freedom. "Because I finally chose myself," she said. And with that, she walked away, leaving the wreckage behind her. Because she and Carly weren't just survivors. They were conquerors.